Welcome to Step 54, Income Stream 3, Interest Income. So there really isn't much to talk about interest that we don't already know. For most people, I don't think a savings account is a good idea for mid or long-term savings goals. Maybe if you're saving up for something in a short-term goal, but on average, you're going to be losing money to inflation, so a savings account is actually not a good savings vehicle. In a similar sense, bonds are another way to lend out your money to an entity, be that an organization or a government, in exchange for interest. Bonds tend to have higher interest rates than savings accounts because the risk of losing some of that money is higher with bonds. We'll talk more about bonds in Part 8 when we cover investing, but they're a good thing to be aware of in your overall investing toolset. Another interesting opportunity for interest income is crowdfunding. In the recent years, crowdfunding initiatives and platforms have become increasingly popular as an alternative way to raise money for a new business idea. With a crowdfunding project, ordinary people contribute money from relatively small sums of $50 or even less against an interest rate to help start up a business or idea. Now, the thing to know is that interest payments from the company's investors might not start until 2 years later, or until the company starts making a certain profit, if at all. But right now, startups are doing relatively well, and even though there is increased risk, the rate of return reflects that and makes this a viable alternative to savings accounts and bonds, especially considering the low margin for how much you need to put in. Regardless of what vehicle you're looking at for interest income, you want to be shooting for at least 3% or more just to beat inflation and make it worth putting your money away in this vehicle. One big advantage of interest income is that it's a passive income stream, so you don't have to do much to get money other than make sure you make smart investments. Another thing to note is that interest rates fluctuate over time, so you can't accurately predict what will be the long-term returns for an investment, but you do know that it will compound, and if it's not returning what you want, you can put that money to use somewhere else. So for the Ready Set plan of this step, look into any savings accounts, bonds, CDs, or crowdfunding projects that might interest you for their interest income. Remember to come back here once we talk about bonds in Step 68 and 69, and once we cover crowdfunding more in Step 79.